them to say I'm a gold digger. Yes, but I am. What was I supposed to dig for sand? Don't fall in love with anybody's potential. I know you're young and you think you have time, but you really don't. Baby, you deserve a soft life. Has commitment issues, that's great. He needs to see a therapist. It's not for you to carry it. Oh my God, does he like me? Does he not like me? Your friends are tired of you complaining about the same guy. You're too precious for someone to make you feel unwanted. Today I'm going to be popping some sense back into us besties.
Damn, girl, I like how you dance. Shit, look so.
Hi besties, hi sisters. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. I'm the Ima and Miss Ima, and if you're just seeing this beautiful face for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification bells so that you get notified every time I post. Let me be your big sister, let me be your small sister, let me be your sister, let me just be in your life so I can tell you what nobody wants to tell you, okay? We're gonna be talking about dating advice and things I wish people told me before I started dating in my 20s, so that you don't have to make the mistakes that some of us have made. Sometimes it's better to learn from other people's experiences. Let's get into the video. Any man that tells you that he wants a situationship, any man that has the guts to say, oh, he doesn't want a relationship from you, but wants to be in a situation where they're benefiting relationship type things from you, that they want to be talking to you every day, they want to be in your phone every day, they want to stop you from talking to other people, or they want to check who you're talking to, or stop you from dating other people. That man hates you. You don't know it. I'm here to tell you he hates you. Say no to any form of situationships, my dear sisters. It never ends up well. You never ever stay enough to convince the man into being in a relationship with you. When somebody wants to be serious with you, even if at the initial point, obviously when you just meet somebody, you guys can't get serious like immediately, right? But if someone wants to take you seriously, those intentions will be known from the very beginning, even if that's not what it starts off as. Run away from anybody who from the get-go makes you feel weird, makes you sound like you're clingy, psycho, or crazy for wanting them to commit to you. Because it's not like this guy is gonna be like, okay, I don't want to commit, and you just go about your day and we just see when we see, right? No. He's gonna use you as a placeholder, a bed warmer, a mattress warmer, a pot warmer. Any warmer he can use you as, he's gonna use you to warm it up. Okay? And guess what? At the end of the day, you're gonna be the one at loss because he's gaining so much and you're not getting anything that you want. When we're young, we think, oh, maybe this man, he will eventually want. Staying there is not a convincing act. You don't have to convince somebody to be with you or like bribe them by showing them how great. No. Setting yourself up for failure, sissy. You're a disaster. It's gonna go wrong. It's 90% of the time it's going to go wrong. All of those games, bullshit. Any man, right, makes it clear that he doesn't want a relationship, but he wants to keep you around. Well, he likes you. He might like you. I'm not saying he doesn't like you, but he doesn't like you enough. And that's all that matters. He doesn't like you enough to make that commitment. He doesn't like you enough to make that sacrifice. He likes you and he wants to keep you around to warm his bed, but he doesn't like you enough to cut off all other women from his life. At the end of the day, when you've given so much to someone and you're just sitting out and waiting at his mercy, like for him to decide if he wants you. Please, we're getting too old for this. You are in your 20s. Like, if he doesn't want to be with you, fine. Keep him at bay. Keep him at one of the people that are chasing you, not a situationship. They be calling your friends over like, oh my God, does he like me? Does he not like me? Your friends are tired of you complaining about the same guy. I'm not saying there might not be valid situations where a guy might genuinely not be in a place to get into a commitment, say, or like just going through something mentally. I'm also here to tell you today, sister, that 9 out of 10 times it's not those situations. It's just because he doesn't like you enough. And honestly, it's not your responsibility to carry on somebody else's emotional baggage, because that's so much emotional labor for you that you're never going to get paid for. And what we're not doing here is labor that we're not getting paid for, because that's slavery. It's not for you to carry. Has commitment issues, that's great. He needs to see a therapist. It's not for you to carry, it's for him to fix. So no situationships, besties. Thank you. Don't let anybody tell you or show you that they don't want you twice. The first time, he's unreliable, he's unintentional, he's this, he's that, we know all the problems. Do you understand? You're God's creation. You're too precious for someone to make you feel unwanted. And I'm not saying you can also not be wanted. It's very possible for someone to not want you. It's toxic to think everybody you meet would, that you meet would love you like all perfectly and would be obsessed with you. No, although that's really the expectation I have for myself. Like, a little bit toxic, not gonna lie, but don't let anybody show you that they don't want you twice, right? One time was definitely good enough, because you don't realize it, but you start entering a very negative cycle of lowering your self-esteem. Why? Because someone has showed you repeatedly that they don't want you. You keep looking for answers. You keep begging like a beggar, like begging, like, please tell me why you don't want me. And they don't give you any satisfactory reason. And then you stay, and that reinforces the belief that you're not good enough, and you don't know it, but it's happening subconsciously. It's happening subconsciously. So once it happens the first time, you can manage to forgive him. The second time, it's a wrap. Especially because there's some men that don't even make any effort at all. It baffles me, girlies. Some of you, they're not putting any effort for you and you are dying. There's different types of efforts, like, okay, someone that tries to see you, someone that tries to do things for you, someone that tries to buy things for you. Some of you, they're not giving you any. And you're still asking him why he doesn't want you, and you're still sucking up to him. Your mom did not carry you for 9 months for that. Please, get a grip. I love you though, but get a grip. Because honestly, how many times do you have to go through a lesson to learn? Like, come off it. Be serious. Like, some of you, they will cheat on you like 3 times, 2 times. You're still there asking him for an explanation. What are you even doing with his explanation, for real? Or you catch him talking to other girls. What are you doing with the explanation? I want to know. I'm asking you what you're going to do with the explanation. Because is there really explanation enough? Because honestly, you saying that there's an explanation enough means that there's an explanation enough for someone to not value you enough, and you will still give that person a chance in your life. Your mom did not carry your tummy for 9 months for you to not love yourself enough. And that leads me on to my next point, which don't look for any closure, guys. Like, any conversation that requires closure, close the book by yourself. Close the chapter by yourself. More often than not, when you're asking for someone to give you closure, when someone has actually very outrightly disrespected you, disrespected your boundaries, hurt you, you're just going there for crumbs. You're going there to beg him to basically say something that will make you feel better about the situation, so that you feel less hurt and you start giving yourself explanations as to why someone did something that's actually unexplainable to you. Closure, close it by yourself. Like, what? I remember one time an ex messaged me a couple years after we had broken up, and he was actually in a relationship, apologizing to me about what he did. And I told him, look, I don't need your apology. It doesn't make me feel any way right now. I don't feel good. I don't feel bad, because when I needed it, I didn't get it. So I closed the book by myself. What? I said, what? Close it by yourself. Like, you are the one who writes your own life. This chapter, it's you who writes the rest of your life. And think about it. It's such a small fraction of your life. Like, think about in the next 10 years, will you really remember this guy and all of this? No. So honestly, don't embarrass yourself even more. It's embarrassing. Somebody has cheated on you and you're trying to find out why did you cheat on me? Because he's a cheat. Don't give him any chance to explain. This is not a court of law. In my court, you are sentenced, the jury. I've sentenced you out. You're gone to jail, life imprisonment, chair, electric chair, injection, out, right? Because from my experience, so it never gets better. That's the truth. It just never does. You keep falling into the rabbit hole of hoping and hoping and hoping because you think somebody would be better. And that leads me on to my next point perfectly. Don't fall in love with anybody's potential. I know you're young and you think you have time, but you really don't. Let me put things in perspective for you. If you live 80 years on earth, right? I'm not saying you live only 80 years. You might live more, God willing. But if you live only 80 years on earth, that is 10 times 8. That is 10 years broken in 8. If you're 20, it means you're already a quarter through. For you to be waiting for somebody who could potentially be a good person, I'm so sorry. If a guy is not treating you the way you want, just see him as what he is. Don't see him as what he could be, because he could be nothing else. Okay, so what if after waiting for a couple years, he's nothing else? Now you have wasted all this precious time you would never be able to get back on this man who doesn't even really care. Because one thing about men, they do what's best interest for them. They don't really care. You see the way you're sitting down and thinking about him, and he's like, he don't really care like that. He's doing what's in the best interest of him, right? So when you start doing what's in the best interest of you, this is not a Build a Bear workshop. This is not a Bob the Builder workshop. Take him as he is. Okay, you think he could be a great person because he treats his, mom well, but when you come home, he's yelling at you. I'm so sorry, the math is not mathing. Right now, your algebra is not algebraicating, okay, darling? So you're just gonna have to go Do you understand? Because so many fish in the sea, and it's real low. See, I'm the kind of person that honestly, I feel like I'm not meeting any men here, and I'm gonna move to another country. Yes, it's that bad. Like, if I break up with you and I'm feeling like I can't see anybody here, I'm gonna move to another country, because you're not gonna stop me from seeing all the fish in the sea, okay? And I'm not gonna wait here for you, because I've done that. Trust me, I'm telling you guys all this because I've done that, and I tell you it's not worth it. And I can tell from all the people that I know it's not worth it. Don't wait on a man's potential. Joseph had a dream, Joseph had a dream, but that dream came to pass. And rest. We need to rest. Put yourself first. Put yourself first. You need it. You need to put yourself first. Stop putting this man first. What you think you could be. What you think. It's tiring. I need to cool off, please. Why am I so angry as if it's my own dating life? It's because you guys, I love you guys. And I don't want you guys to be going through all this rubbish, you know? Set your boundaries. And you would only be able to set your boundaries when you explore. Because then you would know what you can and cannot tolerate. What did they even say? One man's meat is another man's pomo. Yeah. And if you're not Nigerian, it means one man's meat is another man's poison. But
what is the problem? Forget it. I don't want to eat poison.
The point is, you need to explore. Don't tie yourself down for anybody that especially is not worth it. It's never too old to leave, but it's definitely too young to stay. That's my motto, right? It's never too old to leave, but you're definitely too young to stay. If something is not favoring you, leave, explore. See what the world has to offer. Right? You know how men are always like, don't want to eat a goosey soup, banga soup. You too, don't you want to eat different soup? Like, don't you want to explore the world, see what the world has to offer? See, I don't know, like men in Singapore, you know? When you explore, you're able to set boundaries, because then you know what you can take and what you can't take. Like, obviously, there are just some general disrespectful things that people should just not take as a whole. For example, someone might set and say, I don't want a partner who doesn't talk to me, like, throughout the day. I don't want someone that doesn't spend any time with me. Someone might say, okay, that's fine, but what's more important to me is someone who does acts of service, all those kind of stuff. And you cannot learn that by if you don't try. You have to try, explore. And that's why if any situation is not beneficial to you, immediately you go. Because you have to be trying different meats. Okay, that came out really wrong. But what I mean is, like, today you eat like beef, tomorrow you eat pomo, next tomorrow you eat like goat meat, you know. Try. I'm telling you this thing because I love you guys and I've gone through it too. Me, I've gone through my mumu phase. And it would be so sad if everybody has to go through the same mumu phase only to reach the same conclusion, right? When you're done exploring or during your exploration period, you'll be able to set your boundaries. Honestly, this is the biggest dating advice I would say that would save you so much shit in this life, is to set your boundaries. If there's one thing about men, they have audacity. Like, they have an enormous amount of audacity, okay? If you set your boundary to here, someone will literally like they'll get to this point. They will try and see how close they can get to that. And if you keep letting people get away with like going like this, it keeps going up. It keeps going up. What does that mean? Your boundary becomes elastic and it becomes non-existent basically. And it means what they're walking all over you. You're doing things that you don't want. All in the name of what? Like, what is a man actually giving to you that you're actually tolerating all that you don't want? If Jeff Bezos' wife can leave Jeff Bezos, setting your boundary is not about you shouting at him and telling him, oh, I don't like what you did, don't do this. No. It's about what you do after someone has disrespected your boundaries. Do you still give him access into your life? And how many times do you give somebody access into your life after they disrespected your boundaries, right? It's not about telling him. You don't need to tell him anything. You need to show him that you're not going to take the disrespect. Don't talk. That's one thing I learned before. Oh my God. And this one is even up to like this year. It's recently I told myself, you know, I'm not going to be a keyboard warrior anymore. I'm not going to text any man anything. See, from this moment on, I'm not going to text any man anything about his behavior. No. You do what I don't like, and I've already told you I don't like this. I'm not saying anything. You go. You go. I'm not even going to give you that attention for us to go back and forth. No. Why? And I'm just going to use this example, although it's like very far-fetched. Although it's not, because some of you are allowing people to slap you. But if somebody slaps you, right, you know how to react in that moment. You're not probably going to be like, oh my God, like, why did you slap me? You know? But like when people disrespect like smaller boundaries, you don't really necessarily know how to react. Do you understand? And you start trying to explain to them, don't. Just give him the space and the time. Don't tell him anything. Don't explain anything. Is it a 2-year-old? What are you explaining to him? Like, this is no Montessori parenting. Pull back, step back, have discipline. Step back, have discipline. Let your body not be shaking too much. Why are you so excited? Why was I so excited? Don't be so excited. Set your boundaries. And anybody that wants to respect it will. And the people that don't want to respect it will not. It's not about how much talking you talk. It's not about how many times you explain. After you pull back and he then comes, then you can explain the situation. And it's not every time. Oh, if you pull back today, he comes, you talk, he does the same thing. He pulls back tomorrow. You know that man has already figured the trick. He needs to go. Yeah, Copper, everybody knows that your joint income in that whole household is 66,000 naira. And you're killing yourself over that man. Please, darling, come off it. Life is too short. Because you can get anything in this life, but you can never get your time back. And that's what these men are taking away from us. And you see these hot girl years that you have till you're 30. And obviously, like being 30, you're still a hot girl, but it's a different type of hot girl. You know, when you're 20, like it's like I don't care, I'm a hot girl. Like your head is hot, right? You don't get that time again. Life only gets more serious. Things only get more serious. Considerations only get more serious. When you're in your early 20s, you're not considering things like marriage as seriously as maybe when you're in your late 30s, if you're someone that obviously wants to get married. You know, so you need to like remember that this time, every day, this man is making a spectacle of you by showing everybody that he's going to waste your time and you're not going to do anything about it. You're going to give him that time that he's not going to replace. Who is he? Is he God? Because, do you see this face? You see this personality? When you let people disrespect you so much, also disrespecting yourself. There's nothing worse than you disrespecting yourself and having no self-worth, because it means you are repeating negative cycles in your life that keep reinforcing disrespect and disregard and low self-esteem. And this is how, 10 years down the line, you're wondering, how have I taken all this shit? And you don't realize that you're at the subconscious here. You started by allowing that guy to disrespect your boundaries. Don't let anybody shame you, my dear sister, for wanting a man to spend on you. You're young, you're shy. You don't want it to be like, I don't want them to say I'm a gold digger. Yes, but I am. What was I supposed to dig for? Sand? Gold, of course. Do you know the worst part? The men who would say this the most are the men that have nothing to give you. Even if they have the gold, they never wanted to give it to you in the first place. And most of them don't even have it. That is just the truth. It's either they have it and they don't want to give, or they don't have it, of which neither of them are useful to us. Go and look for your Bob the Build dress that's going to be mistress, that's going to be building you. Me, I don't want to build. Why are you coming to me? And that's how you need to be, right? Yes, you're materialistic, so come to me with materials. I'm not saying that you should be all about material things and, a guy should only be in your life based off material things. But I'm saying like it's okay to want someone who steps up financially to you. As a woman, you generally automatically spend more on beauty, clothes, sanitary stuff. In a month, on daily, you're spending more than men. A world where men earn more than women still. Like, make it make sense, please. It's not anti-feminist. Don't let them bobo you, right? Most of the men that tell you is anti-feminist, are they feminists themselves? Let them tell you how many feminism acts they have done in their whole life, right? It's not anti-feminist for you to want better. It's not anti-feminist for you to want a man who's a provider. Just like if they don't also want, they shouldn't do. It's not by force. Me, I've never actually understood the concept of forcing someone who doesn't want something to be with you when you don't want to provide that thing. Like, if you don't want to be a guy who provides, that's fine. Look for who wants that. Not me though. Not me though. I want to be flued out. I want nice gifts. If he wants to go 50-50, it shows that he doesn't want to be a provider.
$20. Can I have it? Let's have it. Let's have it. Let's have it. Let's have it. Come on, baby, let's have it.
Okay. He doesn't want to enter that part of the masculine role, and that's okay for people that want it. But I'm telling you that you shouldn't want it too. I'm not saying that you can't want it, but I'm saying you shouldn't want it too. Because relationships are not equal. Women always end up taking more of the emotional labor. But I feel like the least a man could do is to like pay for stuff. Baby, you deserve a soft life. You deserve a soft life that you can obviously also fund for yourself. But wouldn't it be nice if someone was adding to that just lightly, just lightly or heavily, as you please, sir. Do it heavy if you want. Don't be shy to be called materialistic, baby. Want it, own it. Own it, yes, so that they come to you with materials. Be scared of older men. Especially guys that are way older. When you're 20 to like 25, 26, and the guys are like 36, 30 guys are like 6 to 10 to 12 years age gap chasing you. Be scared, be worrisome, be cautious. Because oftentimes they want to take advantage of you. I'm not saying that every single guy who is older wants to take advantage of you, but oftentimes they know you are not that experienced, you're not that mature, you haven't set your boundaries yet. They know, right? They want a free pass. They want a girl that's going to be so excited to have them that when you're older, you look back and be like, what else did this guy have? No personality, nothing. He was just an older guy. That's his personality. Do you understand? And you have to ask yourself, like, why is it that girls his age don't want to be with him, or he's not with someone his age? Like, actually genuinely inquire. It might be that things just didn't work out and things happen to work out between you guys. But like, if somebody is 40 years old and you're 20, what's he actually looking for? Don't be flattered. Do some findings, dear. At the same time you're doing some findings, be chopping life sharp, but do some findings, dear. Or enter with your sense, because I don't trust it, right? I'm just very suspicious of those type of situations with men, because it's kind of like, what do you actually want from me? Like, I'm barely in uni, bro. Like, I barely finished uni. Like, at this point, I haven't to, like, especially if it's like well accomplished, you know, because most of the men that are like 45 that are chasing young girls that are not trying to make them their third wife is because they're not accomplished yet. They're looking for people that are going to be very excited at whatever it is that they're doing, whatever small thing that they're doing, because women close to their age have achieved more than them, right? You at 20 are seeing him and he's looking cool because he's smoking cigars, and you're like, yeah, he's just such a cool older guy. He's not where his company's too much. Why isn't he even busy? Where is he even meeting a 20-year-old at 45 years old? Ha! There's some situations that are like, okay, but like there's some situations that are like more suspicious than others. I would never be a second wife though, like personally, I'm just saying. But like for people who marry consecutively, oftentimes they do marry younger. For whatever reason. I'm not saying it makes sense either, but I'm saying that happens. But like if a guy is single at 45 and he's chasing you at 20,
criminal offensive side eye, bombastic side eye.
Start asking questions around town. Start asking questions. Metusela, like, what are you looking for? Anyways, besties, I hope you enjoyed the video. If there's any other red flags from dating your 20s that you definitely want to share, please leave them in the comments below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on all my other social media platforms so you can join the family everywhere, besties. Okay? And I love you guys so much. Always remember that. Please always remember that. Anyways, see you guys in the next video. Bye.